How do we think about going from off-the-shelf components versus custom, say, PCBs? Maybe if we start from a business side, is there a right time when it makes sense to do custom versus off-the-shelf?
I think that in many cases, it's sort of a gradient. Like you start, it's pretty obvious what the first prototype looks like, which is a mess of wires and a bunch of off-the-shelf stuff that you sort of threw together and hand-assembled. And then the final product shipped in volume is the opposite, where it's a custom designed circuit board. Although we will see a lot of things that are maybe in the hundreds or thousands that are surprisingly DIY in terms of how they're assembled. And then there's this sort of gradient in between where it sort of, over the course of iterations, starts to be a little bit more custom. I don't think there's a right answer. I think that a lot of it is about when you've worked out the underlying risk associated with the product. So for instance, if you're doing a consumer product and you're going to launch a Kickstarter campaign, don't do all the expensive stuff until after you've done the campaign so you know whether somebody's going to buy it or not, right? So postpone all of the design for manufacturing work till post crowdfunding. I think the same thing is true if it's a B2B product. Not exactly crowdfunding per se, but you should have hand-built prototypes that you use to generate customer interest, and you should move into custom design, which is the expensive part, after you've got customer validation that yes, this product is actually a good idea and somebody wants to buy it.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think it's a hard point because everyone thinks every product's custom, right? It's like, well, I'm building the best coffee maker anyone's ever seen before. It has to be highly customized. But it sounds like a lot of what you're arguing is for certain classes in there, there's actually sets that are already done, and that's where off the shelf can really help. But breadboards still have to play a part of this, right?
Yeah, it's always where you start.
Got it.
And the scale of kind of when you start moving toward custom things depends on the scale that the eventual product is going to be. So if it's a really high value thing and the big vision is to get 300 of them out in the world, it would be a much lower number where you would start doing the engineering to get the custom board. For a lot of the companies that we end up working with, there's these pretty common stepping points where it's like you get into the tens where they're hand built, then you get into a few hundred where you start using some modular components, but it's not a breadboard. You are making your own PCB, but maybe you still just use the photon. You still use some dev kits. You still use things that are easy to work with and not the lowest cost.
For early stage companies, off-the-shelf components is a great way to keep your BOM costs low and get to market faster. I'm curious what your experience is in transitioning from off-the-shelf to custom components. So share your experience in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos that take you into the world of hardware generation.